It's official, ladies and gentlemen. The Rock will take on John Cena at WrestleMania. We take a look at the pros and cons of this WrestleMania rematch. And we also bring you part one of our interview with Mean Gene Okerlund. Coming up next on Primetime Wednesday night. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report, Primetime Wednesday night. Damian Nelson sitting here alongside David Octavius Tiberius, the alleged backyard one-time Knockouts Divas Hall of Fame straight edge champion,
yes,
hero.
I am a champion.
And coming off the heels of a spectacular episode of Raw on Monday night, David Hero, we found out that it is official as John Cena defeated CM Punk in an epic wrestling contest. We'll talk more about that on Saturday. John Cena goes on to WrestleMania. His opponent, The Rock, at stake is the WWE Championship.
The Rock's opponent is John Cena.
It would be vice versa.
Yeah.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
The champion is always the first guy mentioned.
Well, the match is made. There's no shenanigans surrounding it anymore. We know that it will be a one-on-one match. We've talked about whether or not it was going to be a three-way match. We've talked about whether or not this match should even be happening as it was sold to us.
It should have been a three-way match. I still believe that.
As it was sold to us last year as once in a lifetime. Well, now it's twice in a lifetime. And David, let's go over some of the reasons for this matchup. The stakes obviously very high with the WWE Championship being involved. But last year at WrestleMania in Miami, The Rock's hometown, he defeated John Cena in the main event.
There's one reason for this match to take place. It is for John Cena, the biggest star in the company, full-time star in the company, will be fighting The Rock, the biggest star overall in professional wrestling right now.
Bigger than me?
For the biggest prize in the land, the WWE Championship. And this is how John Cena will get his victory back that he lost last year, which was no title, just for bragging rights, but now it's for bragging rights, and it's to become the WWE Champion. It's a perfect scenario. It's a can't-lose situation, because now the biggest match of the year has the company's biggest prize involved in it.
Absolutely, it does. But a lot of people talking about the fact that...
That's why there's a new belt, because when Rock makes the talk show circuit, now they're going to see that prominent logo everywhere they go, and not some little, The
logo was fairly prominent before.
But now it's.
You hate the belt.
I do. I don't like the. No. I don't hate. I don't like it.
You hate just about everything.
Not everything.
A lot of people talked about the fact that this is a rematch happening at WrestleMania, especially since it was sold last year as once in a lifetime. While that does not matter, this is the wrestling business we're talking about. There could be some validity to the fact that this is the second year in a row that this match will headline WrestleMania. However, it's not unprecedented. Let's not forget that The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin headlined three WrestleManias,
times.
2 of them being in a row. And also, we've seen so many great feuds carry over onto multiple big events, including pay-per-views. You can't forget the series between The Undertaker and Mankind. They went at it for, I think, almost a year on pay-per-views.
Well, Hogan and Rock had 2 matches together.
On pay-per-view?
Yeah, they
Correct.
had the rematch.
Yes.
Then you had Taker and Shawn Michaels twice, Taker and Triple H 3 times.
Ric Flair and Sting went all up and down the country back in the NWA days.
But at the end of the day, it's WrestleMania. And yeah, it was once in a lifetime last year. But really, are you really going to complain about once in a lifetime part 2?
A lot of people are, David.
But okay, who else is John Cena going to fight? Please tell me who on that roster is at John Cena's level right now.
Wow.
Okay.
As far as in-ring ability or as far as stardom?
Star power, when you see those 2 guys lined up face to face, nose to nose, chest to nose, whatever it's going to be.
Belly to belly?
Yeah. Bumper to bumper, wrestle rock, whatever you want to call, that's fine. But right now, if it's not CM Punk, if it's not The Undertaker, if it's not Brock Lesnar, it has to be The Rock. And vice versa. Who else is in The Rock's league right now?
Well, you said you think it should still be a three-way match.
It
so
should
you're
be.
seemingly saying CM Punk is on the same level as all those
Well,
people.
he has been in the last 2 months, if you think about it. I mean, I would love to see the three-way match because it just elevates CM Punk to the same level of stardom as Rock and John Cena.
You know, Friday on Hot Tag, hashtag Hot Tag, we're going to talk about The Undertaker and the big news surrounding him that has dominated social media over the last week. And I've got a bold statement to make.
Oh, my goodness.
As it pertains to that on Friday's Hot Tag, available at pwrshow.com. But this match, it shall be epic. Are we doing too much as fans? Are we looking too deeply into the participants in a matchup and not necessarily the reasons for the matchup or what will happen in that matchup? Because you look at this past Monday night on Raw. A lot of people were saying, oh, it's Punk versus Cena. Whatever. Undertaker's going to come back. Shield's going to interfere. There's going to be shenanigans somehow or another. It won't have a clean finish. They went out there and delivered what is so far the best match we've seen in professional wrestling in 2013 with a clean finish in the middle of the ring.
If they don't have the clean finish, then the door's not closed.
Exactly.
And they had to close the door
Exactly.
to have a one-on-one match. Otherwise, Punk could technically complain for the next, 6 weeks.
And wasn't that the ultimate reason for this matchup? Is to close that door and leave
Yes.
no doubt
Yes.
that it will be one-on-one, The Rock and John Cena at WrestleMania.
And poor CM Punk. I mean, he's in a tough spot. So far this year, well, even going back to last year, he struggled with Ryback.
But beat him.
He did beat him, but Shield had to help. He lost to The Rock at the Rumble. He lost to The Rock at Elimination Chamber. Lost to John Cena on Monday Night Raw. 1, 2, 3, clean in the middle. And now it looks like Undertaker might be on the horizon. I don't like his chances for the first quarter of 2013.
I love his chances for the first quarter of 2013.
What are you looking for?
You rolled your eyes. I thought you were looking at something.
Oh, I did. I saw a bird fly overhead. I got nervous.
Twitter? Are you, David Hero, looking forward to this matchup? Rock versus Cena at WrestleMania. WWE Championship.
Yes, but it's not what's selling me on the pay-per-view. I want
WrestleMania sells itself.
sometimes.
Really?
Sometimes.
Did you buy WrestleMania 11?
What was the main event?
Horrible. LT and Bam Bam?
I think I did.
No, it wasn't. LT and Bam. Yeah, it was LT and Bam Bam, but it was also HBK and Nash.
I'm pretty sure that I did. I know that I did. I've never.
Because you always buy WrestleMania.
Right,
Everybody always buys WrestleMania.
But you need the buzz around WrestleMania. WrestleMania creates buzz. LT was the buzz at WrestleMania 11. Okay? And right now the buzz is going to be G.I. Joe against the Marine. It's going to be fantastic. I mean, two larger-than-life personalities. No, the Marine, the original Marine.
not three.
John Cena.
Triple H.
Your boy The Miz is another story.
Triple H, Brock Lesnar. Clearly that match is going to happen at WrestleMania. A lot of people complaining about that. Oh, it's a rematch. Oh, we don't want to see Triple H again. Look, here's the thing about Triple H. There is no one in-ring performer in the business right now who is better than Triple H.
I don't know about that. I think CM Punk, I think Punk is up there with him, in-ring technician-wise. But Triple H is a completely different animal. I mean, he has size, and he's just a different performer.
Monday's opening segment, and we'll talk more about this on Saturday. But Monday's opening segment was so amazingly predictable. I mean, everybody, you knew everything that was going to happen.
I didn't think it was going to happen in the first 5-10 minutes.
I would agree. But even though it was predictable, it was believable, it made sense, and it was a great way to kick off the broadcast. I am not at all bothered by the fact that it will be Triple H and Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. They need that match on that stage because WrestleMania used to be, and maybe once again will be, the closure of open situations. And the open situation between those two is the matchup from SummerSlam.
I mean, Triple H has a losing streak the last two at WrestleMania.
Does it matter?
For him, it does.
Yeah, likely.
So now he gets the chance to beat Brock Lesnar, a guy that walked out on the company, a guy that has had 2 matches.
Brock Lesnar, 3.
He had John Cena.
2.
He had Triple H.
Yeah.
So this will be his 3rd match in 1 year.
Great gig if you can get it.
It's fantastic. And he lost to Cena, beat Triple H, so now you know Triple H is going to get his win back at WrestleMania.
That is this week's.
And then, you know what? It's going to not be a wrestling match. It's going to be a fight. It's going to be a street fight. It might be a Hell in a Cell. It might be something different.
That is this week's In Depth, ladies and gentlemen. A couple of matches made for WrestleMania, primarily The Rock versus John Cena. Part 2, the sequel, if you will, for the WWE Championship. We've got so much more still to come, though, here on the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime Wednesday night. And the big main event tonight on this show is, of course, for the first time ever appearing on this broadcast, Mean Gene Okerlund will be joining us right on the other side of this timeout, ladies and gentlemen. So call your friends and let them know that Mean Gene is coming to PWR in just a few moments. We'll be right back.
For 15 years, PWR has set the bar on pro wrestling reporting, revolutionizing the field with innovation and a clear commitment to you, the fans. In celebration of our 15-year anniversary, we're doing it again. PWR is honored to welcome a new member to the Primetime broadcast team who will guide us on the road to WrestleMania. Please join us in welcoming former WCW, TNA, and WWE champion, Big Sexy Kevin Nash, to the Pro Wrestling Report broadcast team. Nash will be joining PWR hosts Damian Nelson and David Hero in studio starting Saturday, March 16th, and will appear every week leading up to WrestleMania 29. PWR and Kevin Nash. It simply does not get any better. The biggest party during WrestleMania weekend is coming to Manhattan. PWR presents Shenanigans in the Concrete Jungle, hosted by Big Sexy Kevin Nash on Saturday, April 6th. But Kevin won't be alone. The party starts right after the WWE Hall of Fame induction ceremony, just steps away from Madison Square Garden. VIP tickets include free drinks and more, and are only available in limited quantities. Get your tickets now for this tremendous Hall of Fame after party right across the street from Madison Square Garden. It will be epic.
New York, New York.
Damian Nelson here with the legendary man known as Mean Gene Okerlund. Gene, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Are you a doctor?
No, not at all.
Oh, you asked me how I was.
I have a doctorate.
Oh, a doctorate, okay.
Yes. Well, welcome to the PWR studios here in Milwaukee.
It's a pleasure.
Gene,
these are some very, very nice accommodations.
nothing but the best. You know, it's all HD here.
Yes, I know
but
that.
Gene, we talk about Milwaukee, and of course, Milwaukee very famous for professional wrestling. And quite frankly, you, Gene, were part of what made Milwaukee famous for wrestling with the AWA. Many times running at the Mecca, and so many great names such as the Crusher, Mad Dog Vachon, Baron von Raschke, and more. Talk to us a little bit about your greatest memories of Milwaukee and your connection with Milwaukee via the AWA.
Good question. It's about a five-parter, but I'll try to cover all bases.
What I couldn't do, sorry.
The American Wrestling Association, very near and dear to my heart, due in part, I guess, because that's where I started. That's what I grew up with, and it was a classic all the way. I mean, the great names, Vern Gagne. That territory actually was developed back in the late 30s
Oh, really?
by a guy by the name of Tony Stecker. And then the great, or should I say infamous, Wally Carbo got involved as a referee. But it's an organization that truly grew, and if it wouldn't have been for the advent of the WWF and cable television, I think the AWA would have been around today. As far as the talent is concerned, you know, you got your pick of the cream of the crop, so to speak, because it was all territorial.
Right.
So Blackjack Lanza could work in Atlanta, he could work in New York, in LA, and work in Minneapolis, Milwaukee, Chicago, or the AWA. But there were probably a dozen territories throughout the country. And that says nothing about Japan, Australia, and Europe. The UK was very big into wrestling. But the AWA was actually considered at one time to be the very best in the business. Guys could come in there like a Nick Bockwinkel and only have to work 3 or 4 days a week. They'd be at home virtually every night, and they enjoyed it. Wahoo McDaniel is another great one. And Wahoo, you know, came from down in Oklahoma, a football player and a very good wrestler, good athlete, came to Minnesota and to Wisconsin and to the upper Midwest. And they said, this guy is not going to be able to take the winters that we have to endure in this part of the world. He loved it. And guess what his favorite pastime was?
What was that?
Ice fishing.
Really?
He loved to ice fish.
Cut a hole and go, huh?
That's it. That's it.
Well, Gene, you know, a lot of people don't realize that your broadcast career started in this very state of Wisconsin. Wausau, Wisconsin, I believe.
That's right. That's right. WRIG, it was AM then. Very low wattage. Couldn't get it at the house, but 250 watts at night, not enough to run a flashlight. But it was a start, and I still kind of look back in those times as revered.
Yeah.
Because you got a chance in a small market, you could flub, mess up, but you could also kind of develop a persona, a style. And my style from radio easily adapted to television because it was question and answer time, Q&A.
Yeah. And this voice. What do you do to keep this voice so crisp, so clean, so clear?
Damien, you should have heard my mother. She sang bass.
Really?
Yeah. No, you know, I think that's a God-given attribute. You know, but today in broadcasting, it's not like the old cup deers. You know, I mentioned I worked with Gary Owens back in the old days, a guy from Laugh-In, but they had the big, deep voices. And everybody sounded like Don Pardo. So, but it's God-given. I'll give credit where credit is due.
Well, credit is due to you, Gene Okerlund, mean Gene Okerlund. Just the history, the memories that I have and all of the viewers have of the time you spent here in Milwaukee down at the Mecca Auditorium, and just the joys that were the days of the AWA, and of course, even beyond that with WWF, WCW, WWE, and it continues today as you continue to do work for World Wrestling Entertainment.
Might still be looking for work next week, though. You never know. I think I just heard a telephone call.
No, you know what? We're out of time, Gene.
We're out of time. That's my cab.
Gene Okerlund, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Pro Wrestling Report. Thank you, Gene.
Thank you, Damien.
We are pleased to announce the formation of the Pro Wrestling Report Hall of Fame. The PWR Hall of Fame is being created to honor the best in professional wrestling without any politics whatsoever. It's simply about respect. The first inductee into the PWR Hall of Fame is a man who has headlined WrestleMania, wrestled names like Hogan and The Undertaker, was managed by the great Bobby the Brain Heenan, and he is also one of the most noted names in professional wrestling.
20 pounds from Atlantic City, New Jersey. From Devastation Incorporated, King Kong Bundy.
Please join us in welcoming the legendary King Kong Bundy to the PWR Hall of Fame inaugural class. You can be part of it and see Bundy inducted live. The PWR Hall of Fame induction ceremony will be held in Manhattan on Friday, April 5th at the Hotel Pennsylvania. Tickets to the ceremony are available now at pwrshow.com. The PWR Hall of Fame. It's about respect.
Mean Gene Okerlund, David Hero. What a legend.
Gene Mean.
Here in this very studio, we were able to get Gene in and got the interview tape part one. Talking about AWA, you know, Milwaukee, of course, a famous part of the AWA. Talking about today's stars a little bit, and also talking about some of the names that made wrestling famous back in the day. Mean Gene Okerlund, an amazingly classy individual, and one who still is on his A game.
And that's the amazing thing. Someone as classy, as articulate, as polished as Mean Gene Okerlund was sitting next to you. I didn't get the memo to be a part of that?
Absolutely not. Matter of fact, we made sure you had left the office at your normal 2 o'clock time before we did it.
Don't appreciate that.
Mean Gene Okerlund, but that's not all, ladies and gentlemen. Gene had a lot to say about today's crop of wrestlers, and you'll find the information about that on the Saturday edition of the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Part 2 of the interview. Saturday, Mean Gene Okerlund. What did I do there?
Well, you just gave them a little bit, didn't give them everything. Now they're going to watch us on Saturday like they normally would. Very creative.
Mean Gene Saturday night. Also Saturday night on Primetime, ladies and gentlemen, we will be giving away tickets to WWE coming to the Bradley Center in Milwaukee. Every 5 minutes during that broadcast, David Hero, another winner will be announced.
Really?
Yep, every 5 minutes we've got tickets to WWE at the Bradley Center. As a matter of fact, it's a wrestling weekend that you can enjoy that weekend. WWE at the Bradley Center on March 10th, and on Friday, March 8th, Big Sexy Kevin Nash returns to Milwaukee.
Great Lakes Championship Wrestling at the Circle B in Cedarburg. So another My Wrestling weekend?
Absolutely. You get 2 tickets to the GLCW show and 2 tickets to WWE. All you need to do is watch.
Did
and win.
you know that the March 10th show, SmackDown, is the last time Rhodes Scholars is going to be a tag team?
The last time in Milwaukee, yes.
What's the last time?
Also know the main event for that, I think it's Alberto Del Rio versus Big Show in a last man standing
Yes. Well, that's going to be interesting.
match. To enter and to win those tickets during prime time on Saturday night. If you're watching us in the southeastern Wisconsin area.
Oh,
here
yeah.
at PWR
You got to be in the
show.com.
viewing area.
All you need to do is like us on Facebook and go on over and take a look at our Facebook page, and then we'll be selecting local people who
So,
like us on Facebook.
If you live in
and commented.
if you live in Texarkana, you can't win.
No, but you can be eastbound and down. So tickets Saturday.
Bound, like tied up and down.
For that one, ladies and gentlemen, this is Damian Nelson saying so long, everyone. We'll
And
see
why
you
from the east?
Friday for Hot Tag.